So, you might notice this has a very different feel to it. It's honestly not that different. It's just moving something off of the out of here, right? This would be your less common, crazier stuff. This would be your next generation digital learning environment starting point. Right? So, better tool, best in every area. Can't see the domains. I'm bouncing all over the place. And then once we get Polymer and a decent enough JavaScript injection routine, we should be able to take this entire top of the interface and start injecting it into non-ELMS tools. Once we get there, I think maybe you'll start to understand the scope of what we're doing. But I always have context of where I am. We're starting to get into that system level thing. This is mostly working towards a prototype that I'm not willing to show yet. This is a static prototype, so kind of just playing with things. This will go into a different branch entirely at the moment, but messing with the notions of color, absence of color, addition of color, scoping of who can do what, right? You know, currently there is some breaking of the mental model, right, with things like help, resources, syllabus. I don't have that connotation in authority systems. Hell, we don't even use the inbox yet. But things like a blog and the stuff I can do about my blog, outline, you know, engaging with the course, discussions, Open Studio, the whole navigational flow still meshes. So I could certainly see taking some, you know, the network connotation. I have to change just to a super refresher. There we go. Bounce that over. You know, possibly moving user profile info over here. We take this, clean it up a bit, mesh it with network. We take the items currently under network and stack them maybe on the interface, maybe smaller, but still on the UI, because these are things the students are not going to have access to yet. But I could certainly see a reason why we would give them access to like the media system. If I bounce to the media context, there we go. Just started to apply a theme. See, right now, with the way this is laid out, I'm losing that kind of like, what am I in right now? But I am still within the course, so we need to bridge the course context back over, you know, graft it back over to here. But you can see it's a very different feel to the system in general and the, you know, the N+1 nature of innovation. So that one obviously is not something actually deployed. But I believe LQ is, LQ is, even though it's not integrated into the rest of the network. But LQ is something that's needs the UX cleaned up for LQ. But right, I was able to find my way back there pretty quickly, even with the current mental model, which still needs improvement for sure. I'm able to find my way between these systems. I don't know how to express what is happening right there. This is, you know, with the exception of that one logical hiccup there, right, or theme things, because I just pushed these CSS changes. So, you know, we can hit these different places and get it to display. I'm bouncing, and that one doesn't exist again. Sorry. So I'm bouncing pretty much at will with very little disruption in mental model between, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different Drupal sites if you're interested in architectural. So that's 12 different domains as well. I'm ping-ponging around 12 different domains without a loss of context as to what it is I'm focused on at a glance. I can tell just visually based on banner, title, application, color, all these things as to where I am. And when we bridge that gap and we start to move towards Polymer, which will be critical in this, we're going to be able to start to get into non-Drupal tools while still maintaining this level of slickness, right? I am still the admin. every one of these places. This is 13 systems that have just bridged my login credentials without prompting me for them, and done so securely. If I start to tap into some of these more wild interface changes, right? Still keeping tabs on that. I haven't actually done that. We could cut down on the flash of unstyled content, if you will. But this is now applied to our Angular app, right? So this is the same old Angular app. We can start to do that testing against. I can still maintain my context of where I am. Within this, we can disable that. There, let's stop the inverted colors. And now when I go past the other domains, it's dropped that. So again, I haven't pushed this up yet, but it is certainly a huge improvement to the mental modeling. So stamp these out, and go buttons off screen. But that I would generate, and that's another key point, debugging this, right? But these are going to start to be my studio, my inbox, my discussions, all of these places relative to this course network that's going to be building in the background here any minute now. So it's definitely an improvement on the mental model for sure. Pretty exciting stuff. There's the mental model is there. That's something fixed recently that the network is just propagated that across. So it's very hard to express how excited it is. I mean, that just went everywhere, right? So mental mode, right? And it shouldn't be a big deal, right, for a system to have that level of mental model, right? This mental mode thing just got created everywhere. That just spit 4 new Drupal sites into existence that are going to be built, actually 5. They're going to be built in the background of 5 different distributions. And then it generated an additional 8 nodes across the 8 other systems in the cluster. So this is, if we dig into Drupal node land, mental model is actually a course node that's been generated in a grade system in this case. And so now this existed before I got here, right? So I created one node, one place, and it replicated it across all of the other locations. Now that's what's supposed to happen, but it's pretty incredible to actually witness it without ever testing. These are the correct links that are here because that's the structure of that network that's going to be assembled. To demonstrate the difference between that, if I were to go back here and just one, let's just make one, right? We'll make content space. We'll do studio to just 2. All right, gotta clean up that bug that I know is going to show up there. All right, so that's going to stamp 2 new systems, but notice the difference in my network structure here, right? So course outline, open studio, inbox, the only parts of my network that actually end up being visible because I haven't added those other systems in here. So, the idea being add blog, discussion, innovation, other things that are not actually part of this platform that would start to have these items pervasive, ping-ponging us around, handling the authentication piece immediately, keeping the data model in sync, doing roster synchronization. This is exciting stuff. This is very exciting stuff for me, for us.